It's an historical day on LeMonde3 here on the Tour de France on a rest day, as we have 8 Tour de France titles together on the same set. As we are joined by Bernard Hinault, winner of 5 Tour de France. Merci Bernard, we're going to switch it into French so that we can have a conversation going on. Merci Bernard de nous rejoindre ici sur le plateau de l'émission.
Bernard for joining the show of your friend and rival Greg LeMond.
De LeMonde3. Amis avant tout. Amis avant tout.
Friends before anything, you say. And teammates.
Tout d'abord, la première question, Bernard, c'est qu'est-ce que ça fait?
First question then, Bernard. What does it make you feel? Renault, well, it's something you don't forget. And also the first day that I went to the US to see him in Reno at his place, that was an incredible story which has stayed with me forever. For me as well. Everybody talks about 1986, but actually he came to visit me in 1980. I was 19. This was my idol, my hero. The Tour de France champion came to my place in the US, and we went on out hunting, and we did some jogging as well, and you just dropped me. You were too fast. We paraded in New York, and I signed my final contract. Avenue des Amériques with Bernard. Gentlemen, everyone remembers those pictures, you on the Alpe d'Huez back in 1986, Greg in yellow, and it was your last Tour de France, Bernard. Tell us about those legendary images. Well, we had a tremendous day. We had Zimmerman in the front, a very good climber, not a very good descender, and we attacked him when he wasn't expecting it. The first time at the top of the Galibier, then he wanted to follow me, and he got scared. Greg passed him on the inside as well, and then it was done. We were both good descenders. 120 kilometers an hour on the Galibier slopes. We played him a bit. We let him come back at the Croix du Fer. Greg wanted to go on. I said, no, let's wait for him. Up to around 30 seconds, and then when he was 30 seconds back, we started the engine, and he finished 5 minutes behind us. It was great. And then the crown, and the tour was over. No, at the time you said it would be over after the time trial, which didn't leave room for any surprise. I couldn't control you in the time trial, you were going so fast. True, but I always told you were going to win, and you won. Speaking of which, the arrival of 2 co-leaders, 2 teammates. What was it, Bernard? Some sign of pride that you said to Greg that the tour wasn't over? Was it a way to motivate him? A bit to motivate him, and also to make fun of him as well. Yeah, but in the end, you never know. Up to the Champs-Élysées, I knew you were very strong in the time trial, so I had to be in shape for it, and in the end, we did a good stage. Finishing first and second. I wanted to beat you for once, but I felt I actually beat you once in Lac de Vastière. But everybody was saying, in France or in the US, it's the big fight between these two. But I don't know another rider, apart from Bernard, that worked for his team as well as he did. We had the leaders and decided during the race, meaning if Bernard was down and I was up, he worked for me, and I was doing the same the other way around. It was pretty special at the time. When I look at the teams now, there's always one leader. There's something interesting when you have 2 leaders in a team that really does work together.
Dans cette époque, même, je vois des courses maintenant, il y a un leader, mais il y a une chose à faire avec 2 leaders, une équipe qui travaille vraiment ensemble.
Obviously everybody saw this image in 1986, everybody knows it, but what people are less aware of is that in 1980 you went to the US with Sylvain Marc to meet your successor on paper. You even went to go and meet Greg and his wife Kathy at the airport. It's an amazing story. Yeah, he drove me at 250 kilometers an hour for a cyclocross, and he even changed the tyre of my car, a Renault 18, a red one that Renault had given me. I didn't know how to change a tyre. I was like, we have to find a new car, and he just looked at me, opened the trunk, grabbed a new tyre, changed it in 5 minutes, I remember, just like that. It's, okay, correct, you're good to go.
Ça va, Greg? Allez.
Messieurs, avant de passer à la course.
Well, gentlemen, before talking about this Tour de France in 2014, I was 12, 13 years old at the time, so I don't remember that well. But back in 1985, when you won your 5th Tour de France, could you have won it without Greg's help at the time? Well, we don't know. Maybe we had to be two. There wasn't an agreement between the two of us. The first to get the jersey would then be protected by the team. And after 85 and everything that happened, I said, winning on 6 or 7, it won't change much. I'll have as much pleasure if I help Greg to win it, because that was the team spirit. It wasn't all about one rider in our team. It never was, and that was great. The pleasure we had, even if you suffered a little bit in 1986, it was great. To be able to play the other riders, it's not something that anybody could do. I only suffered when Bernard Taffy, my manager at the time, was saying something one day and then something the next. At the time, with Guimard and Paul Cochi, we knew who the leader was, who the best was, but if this changed and someone else could win, we'd go for him, and that was pretty new at the time. Well, thank you, gentlemen, to have told us about some of those great moments and the relay between the 5th Tour de France of Bernard Hinault in 1985 and the first one for Greg LeMond in 86. So 8 Tour de France titles are with us. What could be better to talk about the 2014 edition? So Nibali as the great leader so far, certainly helped by the absence of Contador and Froome. Bernard, my question for you is Vincenzo Nibali the best on this tour?
Vincenzo Nibali, c'est largement le coureur plus fort sur ce Tour de France 2014.
Je pense, oui.
I think so, and even if the two others had stayed in, I'm not sure they'd have won it. I mean, the way that he passed those cobblestones, we were under the impression he was just walking, and that's not even his speciality. He's studied a specific bike, from what I've been told, for this particular race, because he wanted to win it. He didn't want to lose the slightest centimetre, and finally, he's so far been a great winner. Ever since he's been in yellow, he's never panicked, and we can tell at the bottom of the climb, he's looking at his opponents. He lets them do what they want to do, and then he decides and attacks. But he doesn't go at it to gain 10 minutes of them. He goes at his pace, tries to win the stage when he can, or like the other day, the day before yesterday anyway, when he finished second. But every time, he just gains a little bit of time on the others. Well, one day before the Pyrenees, 4 minutes 37 on Valverde. Is the Tour de France over? I think it's done for him, because I don't know how Valverde could take back 4 minutes 37, knowing that at the Rizoul already he was in trouble. So even if he has a rest day to try and recover, I'm not sure whether he's able to put Nibali in trouble. I had the same feeling, because once you're there, and I remember when you fell in 1985, 14th stage in Saint-Etienne, Nibali didn't fall on those cobblestones. You didn't like cobblestones, but you passed them either way, and then you won Paris-Roubaix as well. That's cycling. You have to be a complete rider to be leading the Tour de France. I thought about that, thinking about Chris Froome. Contador did well on the cobblestones, considering his profile. He could have been a good rival to Nibali, but still it doesn't change much, because Nibali was already in yellow from day 2. Then no faults on the cobblestones, no mistakes anywhere else. You need to be riding Grand Tours like that if you want to win them. Well, gentlemen, let's have a look at the overall classification. Alejandro Valverde is 4 minutes 37 behind Nibali. Then we have the two French riders, LeMonde3, 4 minutes 50, 13 seconds behind Valverde, and Thibaut Pinot, 5 minutes and 6 seconds behind Nibali. TJ Van Garden's 5th. Bernard, do we have the new French generation? Do they have the right attitude to step onto the podium, or maybe even do more? Why not? But today nobody can say that they will do it. We'll really know after the time trial, and the battle will be intense until this time trial. Maybe in the mountains they'll just wait and observe each other, but I do believe that they can be on the final podium.
moi je pense qu'ils ont la possibilité de monter sur le podium.
On voit Thibaut Pinot.
Pinot was second at the finish at La Planche des Belles Filles. Very aggressive. Bardet maybe a little more discreet. Who surprised you the most? Or both, because they're really fighting, both of them. Maybe the only danger is that they're watching each other too much, and that could benefit a third rider. Well, that's true. I'm really impressed by both of them. They're very young, they're 23, 24 years old. You, Bernard, were the last French winner of the Tour in 1985. I have the feeling there was a bit of a black period in the last 10 years where the French riders haven't been very competitive, but definitely now it's different. Well, I also believe in the last 10 years the riders were overprotected by the teams and they didn't have the freedom to do what they wanted to do. That was wrong. Young riders need to be free. This is what's happening now. If you tell Pinot, don't attack, stay with the big leaders, he never takes his chance and doesn't put himself in the situation to win a stage. Even if the rider makes mistakes and loses, it's the way you learn how to race.
Il faut leur laisser la liberté. Tu as raison. Quitte à faire des erreurs, quitte à perdre. Et ça fait partie de la vie.
Alors qu'on voit Thibaut Pinot qui va souvent.
Pinot is often on his own. On the other hand, Bardet seems to be surrounded by a stronger team. Sure. Perrault's doing well as well. They have strong teammates who are working for them till the bottom of the climb, so that makes it easier. Well, for me, the main interest of this Tour de France is going to be that battle between Bardet and Pinot. To be completely honest, Greg especially likes Thibaut Pinot. But Greg, why is that? No, I don't choose between the two of them. But I like the story of Pinot with his big crash when he was very young. And after that, he was afraid descending, but he's worked on it and improved a lot. It's still a bit of a weakness for him, but I believe it's tough to improve after you suffer something like that. What I like is that they're both aggressive, they both attack, and it's not what you do when you're only 23 or 24. Even myself, when I turned pro, I was so impressed by Bernard and the others that I often thought, oh, I'm not good enough, I better stay calm. These two riders, they don't have a complex, and they're attacking big names, and for me, well, it's that sort of thing that is going to be absolutely fantastic for cycling.
Ils n'ont pas de complexe comme ça. Il attaque les grands coureurs. C'est très bon pour le vélo.
Et des descentes et des montées, Thibaut Pinot et Romain Bardet en vont en faire pendant les 3 prochains jours parce qu'on aura 3 étapes qui
Well, now come 3 huge mountain stages in the Pyrenees, starting on Tuesday with the stage from Carcassonne to Bagnères-de-Luchon. 237 kilometers, 5 climbs, including the Porte du Banez classified or category. What can we expect during this stage?
Bernard, Greg, quelle course on peut s'attendre ce mercredi?
Je pense qu'il va y avoir toute une partie à peu près jusqu'à Saint-Giron.
Well, I think in the first part of the stage, until Saint-Giron, not much is going to happen. The main protagonists will show their strength on the Porte de Valais. The one who crosses the top there with a minute's lead will also win the stage. It's like a mountaintop finish. I did it in L'Étape de Tours, and it wasn't that bad. If you reach the top in the lead, you have to descend fast, but you just have to descend.
Imaginez, c'est comme l'Artoise, arriver au sommet, parce que ce qui passe, c'est vraiment, il doit juste descendre, mais vite.
Pensez-vous que Alejandro Valverde, tout près d'Espagne, pourra peut-être avoir
Well, close to Spain, do you think Alejandro Valverde will try and close the gap on Nibali?
Je crois qu'il va essayer, mais après...
Well, he's going to try, for sure, but I'm not sure he has the capability. Well, we see things the same way, Bernard. I wanted to answer, yes, he'll be motivated, but I'm not sure whether he's got the level to do it. What we've seen from him so far, especially on the climb to Hinault, is not that positive. Well, Bernard, according to you, what will be the final podium in Paris?
Moi, je verrais bien Nibali, ça c'est sûr, ou alors...
Well, Nibali certainly, unless something happens, like a crash or a very bad day. I don't see who can beat him. And I hope that at least one of the two French... I believe that TJ Van Garderen will be on the podium. and Hinault as well. I say this because he's better than Bardet in the climbs, and I think that the time trial is going to be very close.
Il est très fort, il est plus fort que Bardet dans le col, mais le contre-la-montre, je ne sais pas vraiment. À peu près. Pour moi, c'est ça.
Eh bien, Greg LeMond reste un peu américain dans son cœur.
Greg stayed patriotic. He sees Van Garderen on the final podium. Gentlemen, a big thank you to the two of you. I think we've just lived a historical moment here on this 2014 Tour de France. Bernard Hinault and Greg LeMond together in Greg's show, Le Monde Tour. Bernard, Greg's doing an excellent job as an expert. Well, that's not true. He's just very good at making compliments. Why do you say this? You're good. You have to believe it. Okay, but I'm so happy to be here with Bernard. He's part of a great moment in my life, and he's a great guy.
C'est une très bonne partie de ma vie et très très fort pour moi et un bon mec.
Eh bien, regardez, ils sont dans le cœur des spectateurs. C'est fini pour nous. Profitez de votre journée de repos parce qu'à partir de demain, mercredi, ça sera une nouvelle étape.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy your rest day. The racing gets started again tomorrow with a great stage.
Is back. The two-time world champion and triple Tour de France winner is Eurosport's new cycling ambassador. Get his live on-site analysis from the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France, along with an exclusive monthly show, Le Monde of Cycling.